You have just entered into the crystal dome of conscious revolution from the direction of the north at 12 o'clock midnight on the winter solstice. Here you will be born again to the knowledge, the gnosis of the center of the will. As you look down, you see that the floor represents the attributes of the earth. Around the outside of the circle you can see the earth and the change of the light on the earth in its 12 monthly positions as it orbits the sun. Remember, it is the tilt of the earth that gives us our seasons. Remember, it is the rotation of the earth at the speed of 17 miles per minute to the east that gives us the illusion that the sun rises and that the sun sets. You can also see the movement of the moon weaving in front of and behind the earth. Soon it will become obvious to you that the yearly cycle of light can be harmonized with the daily cycle of light. The 12 months of the yearly cycle can be logically made to match the 12 hours of the daily natural light cycle. The yin-yang symbol reflect this pattern for both the year and the day. You can see that like 12 o'clock midnight, the north and the time of the winter solstice is a natural holy day of rebirth and return to the light. We can imagine that the yin-yang in the center is also a huge planet Earth. At the top near the North Pole and at the time of the winter solstice, you see the minuses signs, which indicate the time of less light per day. To the South Pole at the time of the summer solstice, you see 2 plus signs indicating more light per day. The Earth is in fact like a giant battery as it receives the solar radiation from sunspots into its poles, which form an aurora borealis. In the center you again see a leaf-bearing tree, and the trunk is the ankh and the cross. It is here we will lay down in the center of our 5 senses of sight, smell, touch, and taste, and hearing. Here we will align our spine and our chakras with the poles of the earth and the prime meridian and undergo a transformation. Your heart chakra is the center of the cross of the 4 directions, just as the sun is in the center of the 4 directions. In fact, your heart has 4 chambers, and you will see this correlates to the energy fields of a quadrupole magnet, and this can also be related to our common times table and our Cartesian coordinate system. If we use a base 12 or dozenal number system and assign the numbers 1 through 12 to the color spectrum of the tertiary colors and then integrate them with our commons times table, we see that the black zeros reveal the same pattern of a circle with a cross through the middle, and that this is a sacred repeating fractal. This knowledge transforms you to undergo a metamorphosis into a symbolic 4-winged butterfly angel that we really are, as revealed in children's snow angels. Now you can open your 3rd eye to see the rainbow light of the heavens for what it really is, the 3 primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, and the secondary colors of green, orange, and purple. As you lay on the floor of the crystal dome with your feet towards the south, looking up to the symbols of the heavens, in the center you see the hexagon crystal, which is a representation of the light of the sun, and it seems to magically change before your eyes. You remember that all snowflakes and honeycombs are 6-sided. You notice that the white light breaks into the 6 colors of the rainbow and forms the sacred geometry of the Star of David and the Seal of Solomon. And then when this pattern is repeated, it forms the mathematical curve known as the Koch star, which is a fractal that extends into infinity. You also realize that this is the Surya Yantra mandala of the sun found in India, and when its angles are curved, it is the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube, the flower of life, the tree of life, the seed of life symbols, and you realize that it is all essentially the same symbol, which is based on the light of the sun. Our sun, whose name is Soul. And you can also see the planets circling around, called the solar system. Now your consciousness is aligning with the light, and on the dome to the south you see the prime meridian of noon. It is the fluctuation point, like a metronome, of on and off. Time is the continual repeating of the on and off, and forms fractal-like pattern from minutes to days to years. On the prime meridian you see the analemma in the shape of the infinity sign, which represents the sun's yearly advance or lag off of clock noon due to the Earth's tilt. You also see the path of the sun on the winter solstice on the Tropic of Capricorn. You see the path of the sun on the equinox on the equator, and you see the path of the sun on the summer solstice on the Tropic of Cancer. You realize that these 3 bars remind you of the papal staff of the Pope. And beyond you see the distant stars of the constellations on the ecliptic plane, and the current North Pole star Polaris in the constellation Ursa Minor, known as the Small Dipper. And finally you become aware that the black hole in the galactic center is towards the south. Now, having opened your third eye to the rainbow and waking up to cosmic consciousness, you stand up and begin your journey around the wheel, beginning with the 1 o'clock position of vision.